So here's a water bottle. Ever since the day water bottles were put into circulation, humans have had a direct and indirect connection with them. The production of plastic begins at the site of an oil rig, where crude oil is extracted and put into barrels. Crude oil is made up of small molecules called hydrocarbons. These hydrogen and carbon chains release a lot of energy when burned in an exothermic reaction. These reactions occur worldwide every time transportation using gas or diesel is used on roads. Crude oil is transported to oil refineries, which use a heat source to separate large hydrocarbons from smaller and/or branched chains based on boiling points. This method of separation is called fractional distillation. Large hydrocarbons used for plastic have to be transported to industrial labs where chemical engineers modify the structures to produce a thermoplastic. Once this material is made, it is transported to water bottle factories for each water bottle company to create their products. On a mechanical level, water bottles are made by large machines which melt, shape, and cut raw plastic material. These bottles are then cooled and filled with water. Water is made up of molecules of H2O. H2O contains hydrogen and oxygen. Oxygen is a larger atom than hydrogen and therefore pulls more electrons towards itself, acting as a strong oxidizing agent. This causes the H2O molecules to become partially negative and positive on polar ends. This polar behavior allows more molecules to stick to each other through weak hydrogen bonding. Due to this attraction, water has a high boiling point because the molecules don't want to be apart from each other. This water is naturally stored in underground regions called aquifers, where large drills from water bottle companies can penetrate rock and soil layer to reach the liquid. Once the water is extracted, it is sent in large trucks to water bottle plants that use machines to purify water called softeners and reverse osmosis tanks. Water bottles are then packaged in large plastic containers for distribution to consumer companies. These companies purchase the water bottles through the water bottle distribution headquarter locations, which hire thousands of workers responsible for handling purchase orders. Once the store receives water bottle stock, customers can then buy the products in local food stores like the IGA, or commercial warehouses with national locations such as Sam's Club. For example, parents who have children on New Egypt high school sports teams like the New Egypt football team or soccer team buy these bottles for their players to hydrate. Families will also travel to local food stores to purchase the stock for daily drinking water. On the other hand, environmentalists will attempt to fight the improper disposal of these bottles and fundraise for recycling methods. Once bottles are recycled, they are melted down and recovered for raw plastic material, which could otherwise be produced through chemical production using energy from coal power plants or other fuel resources. Around the world, water is becoming an extremely valuable resource, and local school clubs like the New Egypt Environmental Club and Interact Club may support water bottle distribution to poor countries. Recently, money was fundraised by the New Egypt Art Club to support Sandy hurricane relief, where water bottles were provided to families without water on LBI. A water bottle is much more than just a molded piece of plastic formed from hydrocarbon molecules filled with H2O. The chemistry of this small object sitting on a desk in school becomes the indirect connection of the entire human population, intertwining jobs around the world and nations that have local distributors for water bottles to save those in need of the resource. In the end, the chemical origin of everything, not just a water bottle, has changed how we live our lives and the events that take place through the advancement of human knowledge.